Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 281D in a US19 finish. This is a flush bolt. The 281 is considered a residential style flush bolt. Not that you couldn't install it into a commercial application, but a small petite flush bolt like this with a very simple mechanism would certainly be typical for a residential type application. This is a square corner model. This is going to be, I believe, about 6 inch tall and 3/4 wide. Literally pushing that tab up will allow the projection of the bolt to occur. Alright, the 281 is the residential version of this style flush bolt. The 282 would be the commercial version, a larger version with an extension rod. The 281D, this is in a US19 finish. Well, that's black. Not a bad finish on this from Hager. They have isolated those sharp products from each other, which means that the concept is that it won't scratch in transit until you get it installed. This is 6 inch tall. A little shy on that. 3/4 inch wide. That return leg at the top or the bottom of the door, that's about 1 5/16 inches. Installing this is very straightforward and simple. This is going to be installed using a router, most likely. If not, maybe a hammer and chisel, but you'd want to use a router for this. There is a link below this video to a document called Template that will give the dimensional properties of what we've just reviewed, and then also show you clearly the mortising that you're going to undergo. You're going to do 3 different steps, really. You're going to do the body prep, which is going to be the 5 1/8 of an inch mortise from here to here. And you'll take note that it's going to stop just short of that screw. 5 1/8 according to the drawing. Yeah, that's a little bit off. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's going to need to be closer to 5 1/4 every bit. 5 5/16. It's simply not going to work. It's not far enough down. 5 1/8. One advantage of having the product in your hand before you go mortising stuff. So definitely a longer mortise than 5 1/8. I would probably just make it 5 5/16. You'll have no problem with that screw location. The depth, they want it to be 3/4 inch deep. That would certainly be adequate. Will keep you away from that screw hole as well. I would say that would be appropriate. Then the width is going to be 3/4 inch. That would be the faceplate. You could technically make that ever so slightly less if you wanted to really do a separate operation for the faceplate. You could go a little less than 3/4, but then you would have to open up your router and prep 6 inch by 3/4 inch for the faceplate. So step 1 is going to be doing this body, which is going to get you from here down to here. Step 2 will be doing just the area from your 5 5/16 or so down to 6 inch, 3/4 wide. They want it to be 1/8 of an inch mortise thick. My caliper is telling me that this faceplate is 0.115, so sure, 1/8 of an inch. That ought to be just dandy. Then you're going to do the little area over here. They wanted 3/4 inch, and this was 1 5/16, they say. So you're going to be at 9/16 depth here. And they're now telling us that they want 25-30 seconds mortise width, which is what they want. Not 3/4, forgive me, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing that now. 25-30 seconds is what they want. 25-30 seconds, 1 divided by 32 times 25, that's 0.78125, so a 30 second heavier than 3/4 inch. My caliper tells me that the faceplate 0.765, so Bigger than 3/4 is the bottom line. The caliper is really the tool that goes hand in hand with your router. I don't see having a router without a caliper, so that you can set these dimensions on your tool. So we've got the proper 25-30 second width. We've done the body prep. We've done the plate prep here. We've done the plate prep up here. And at that point, you're finished, other than pre-drilling the screw hole for the screw that's down here and up here. That strike plate that's inside of there, let's take a look at that. They say that it's a 1/16 of an inch thick. That's awfully thin to mortise. You'll generally see it surface mounted, but not always. You'll generally see it mortised as well. About 1 3/4 inches. They say 1 in 25-30 seconds is your mortise. Width looks like 7/8. They're telling us 29-30 seconds, so that's going to be just heavy on 7/8. The thickness, they're telling us it's a 1/16 for your mortise. The caliper is telling me 0.050. 0.050. Okay, so easy to install. Whether you're just replacing hardware. If you're replacing hardware only because you want to change the color, black is a very popular color. 2017, 2018, 2019, probably for the next 3-4 years or so. What's important for you to know is the corners are square. This same flush bolt is readily available on the market with a radiused corner as well, so be mindful. If you've got 6 inch by 3/4, then the next thing you're looking at is it square or radius down here. If it's square, this is a great option for you. This would be installed normally at the top and the bottom of a door. You will generally see a residential flush bolt like this installed in, indeed, a residential application where you have the master bedroom, and it's got a pair of doors, and one door is held closed with flush bolts. Privacy set on the active door. You'll see that same application in hotels and suites, separating, if you have a room in a hotel and it's got a separate bedroom that has a pair of doors closing it off, you'll see it very commonly there as well. There's also a link below this video to the product catalog, and that will allow us to review the 281 flush bolt against the other flush bolts that Hager sells. The 281 is the only residential style that they sell. Everything else here is commercial, manual, semi-automatic, constant latching. And then the accessories that go with flush bolts on the commercial end, coordinators, mounting brackets, dust-proof strikes will go with that. So Hager does not have a radiused corner, but we can help you with that. They do indicate that this has a double action spring design, provides automatic holding of the bolt in the projected or retracted position. And what they're referring to is there's a slight preparation. All right, you can see right at the tip of my finger, a little prep there, so that when I throw the bolt, it's going to fit right in there, and will keep it from, just by gravity, just coming down, even though pulling it down will then push it so that the spring sits in the groove that's on the bolt here. Other finishes: US 3 for polished brass, US 4 for satin brass, US 5 for antique brass, US 10 for satin bronze, US 10B for oil rub bronze, US 15 satin nickel, US 15A antique nickel, US 19 black, US 26 polished chrome, US 2060 satin chrome. So 10 total finishes. The balance of the extended information down below this video, we've covered everything. Does include the 4 screws that you'll need, 2 for the flush bolt and 2 for the strike. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Hager products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Hager, this is their part number 281D in a US19 finish, or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.